Good morning. I want to read you a passage of scripture. This is from the book of Matthew, from chapter 2. I'm going to read verses 1 through 10. Now, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem, saying, "Where is he who was born King of the Jews? For we saw his star in the east and have come to worship him." When Herod the king heard this, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. Gathering together all the chief priests and the scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Messiah was to be born. They said to him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for this is what has been written by the prophet, and you, Bethlehem, land of Judea, are by no means least among the leaders of Judea. For out of you shall come forth a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel." Then Herod secretly called the Magi and determined from them the exact time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search carefully for the child, and when you have found him, report to me, so that I too may come and worship him." After hearing the king, they went their way, and the star, which they had seen in the east, went on before them until it came and stood over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced exceedingly with great joy. And thus we have the Christmas star. Every year, it seems, there are those who want to speculate that the Christmas star was purely an astronomical experience wherein the convergence of heavenly bodies came together and produced an unusually bright star, and that the Christmas star in Matthew here is really nothing more than just a natural event, but it was there at that time. The star, I want you to understand, what we just read in Matthew, that star was no ordinary star. And it was not the convergence of heavenly bodies. It was a direct guidance from God. These wise men were astrologers from the area, probably from Persia, which is the former Babylon. And they had seen the star and they knew something was happening. They were observers of the sky, but being astrologers, they took meaning from the stars that went far beyond what we would call science today. Even today, there are astrologers and there are astronomers. Please understand, astronomy is a very valid science, a study of the heavens. But astrology is an interpretation of what goes on in the sky. And it really is, it has nothing to do with science, and it certainly has nothing to do with faith. But here we have this event going on that was guiding these wise men from the east, because they knew that something unusual was going on. And they came from the east, from Persia, Babylon area, and they came looking for the Christ child. They went first to Jerusalem. Now understand, they had seen the star, and that was an indicator to them that something was going on. But they went to Jerusalem first, and they inquired there, "Where is this child that was born King of the Jews?" Well, this caused a great deal of angst with the king and with others of the Jewish community, because they were aware of the fact that the Messiah was to be born at some point, and there was a lot of speculation based on what they had read in the book of Daniel, that they were living in the time that the Messiah would be born. But they had no idea exactly about this star. This was something that these wise men had seen, and they knew, again, something was happening. But then, after they made this inquiry, Herod sent them on to Bethlehem, because after consulting with the leaders of the Jews, They were listening to what the Old Testament prophecies said. And the prophecy indicated that the Messiah would be born in Bethlehem. So Herod sent them to Bethlehem. And as they went, then the star guided them, and not just to Bethlehem, but even more to a specific place in Bethlehem where Jesus was. Indeed, it was a miracle. It was a direct guidance from God. Now, jump to the year 2020. We're hearing in the news, specifically today, and it's been leading up to this day, we're hearing about the Christmas star in our night sky. Incidentally, this event in the sky is an astronomical event that was very predicted. It's been known for years that this was going to be happening, and it is the convergence of the two largest planets in our solar system, Jupiter and Saturn, coming so close together. And tonight is their closest point from our vantage point, coming so close together that it appears to be not two heavenly bodies, but one. And so it is unusually bright, and it is certainly a phenomenon that is going to be very unusual. Tonight, lots of people will be watching and watching through their telescopes as these two planets are going to be in the same frame, and you're going to be able to see Jupiter and Saturn very close together in the night sky. Now keep in mind, Jupiter and Saturn are millions and millions of miles apart, but they're lining up together from our vantage point on the Earth so that they appear to be very close. This is indeed an amazing event. We live in such a structured universe that this event has been known to be coming for many, many years. They knew that this was going to be happening, and the convergence of these two planets would reach its peak on this night, December 21st, year 2020. So it's a wonderful event. It's an event that really still points to the majesty of God. So let me read you another passage from Psalm 19, verse 1. And it says this: "The heavens are telling of the glory of God, and their expanse is declaring the work of his hands." Indeed, we can look at the night sky, and we can see the very presence of God in all of his majesty. And the more that we learn about that night sky, the more amazed we are, because it is so big. It is so majestic. It is so amazing for us to be able to see stars and planets and other things that are in our heavens. It's an amazing event for us to be able to see tonight the convergence of these two planets. Indeed, the idea of these two things coming together is a indicator of a very consistent and loving God. God who has ordered the universe in such a way as to demonstrate his own majesty for us. So enjoy the night sky. Enjoy the convergence of these two planets, but please, this is not the Christmas star of the birth of Jesus. This is an event that happens about every 800 years, and we get to enjoy it tonight. Enjoy Jupiter and Saturn coming very close together, but more so when you look at the night sky tonight and every night. See the majesty of God. Have a great day. Bye.
They resound with God's own heart. Oh, let the ancient words impart. Words of life, words of hope.